Getting thing going.
Everybody knows who Susan and I are.
Yeah, you're famous.
We don't need name tags.
Okay.
Do you think I could sell houses on roller skates? Maybe. Do you think?
Maybe.
That would be cool.
That would be
bring
fun.
That
Yeah. And now that your knee is all healed,
My knee's healed. I'm ready to go.
From the Denovo Realty Studios in sunny Brevard County, Florida, the most important podcast on the internet. Ladies and gentlemen, Denovo Realty Radio.
Hello, everyone, and welcome today. I'm joined with Susan Swanson, and we are going to talk about what's been going on in the market, our thoughts on it, and some recommendations on best practices for the future. So, welcome, Susan. Always a pleasure to have you.
Thank you, Garrett.
Yes.
The pleasure is always mine.
So, Susan, we just finished quarter one of 2021. Give us your thoughts on the past, 2020, how this first quarter is going, what's been changing in the market, and everything that's been going on with you.
Okay. Well, the real estate market is so crazy and unpredictable. Like last year, with the pandemic and all the shutdowns and the remote working, you would think that it would be a bad year. So anyway, I had a record-breaking year.
You did.
How about you?
Awesome.
How about you? How was the year?
This was our first year in business, and we did much better than we had anticipated. So we were super happy about that.
Yeah.
And 2020, the market in general, it was obviously a super weird, year. But our, number of transactions for all of the county went up. Buyer demand increased a bunch. Supply, though, which we're going to talk about, of course, supply is crazy down. So it's been interesting. Yes.
Very interesting. And so last year, the listings were just flowing as usual, but this year we have a real shortage, I'm finding, and that when we do have a listing, we have multiple hyperactive cash buyers. We get into bidding wars, and you list something and it's gone practically the same day or a day or two later. So it takes a bunch of new skills to
it's definitely we're having to shift as real estate agents. The buyers are also having to shift to sellers are as well. It's a different time period, and we've had to adapt. The inventory definitely started to decline a lot last year, and then this year it's been it's crazy low, and it's created all new. You have to come up with new strategies. When you got a house that has 10 offers on it, how do you get your offer through? And working with buyers is tough right now. So how have you been kind of dealing with that on your end in Heritage Isle and anywhere that you've been working?
Right. Well, I love your idea that we had at a meeting that we have to be the same across the board with all of these multiple offers.
How we handle it on the listing side, because it is such a frustrating thing.
Part, because there's nothing more frustrating to an agent who put in a really great offer and to want to do the best for her or his buyers, and the listing agent is maybe waiting to get her own buyer, and it's very frustrating. There are frustrating times
for sure
when you're trying to service your
and we like you said, we talked about it as an office, kind of our best practices for how to handle multiple offer situations and doing it the same every time. And I think it would be great if it was everywhere in the whole United States, but if everyone handled it the same every time, it would be a lot less frustrating. It'd be more fair for people, because it's definitely a stressful situation when you get people making offers on properties. They've already lost out on some now, and it's like they don't know what's going on. They don't know if they're being told the truth. It creates all this tension, and it's unfortunate. And we wish everybody could get the house that they want. Would be nice, but inventory's so low. So,
do you think that so many people are working remotely now that they're doing renovations to their homes and staying in the Florida area?
There's a lot of that too. That's it's a great point, because you talk to a lot of contractors and people that are working from home. I think they're out, they're looking around in their kitchen and go, I'm finally going to do something about this kitchen, and they're renovating it, and that could definitely contribute. They're like, we'll fix it up and we'll stay here. And
it's beautiful. I don't want to move.
It looks beautiful now, and people don't want to leave the area because so many people are moving in here. So I think that, and just so many people moving into the area here, which, the demand is high. Goods, pros and cons.
Well, why do you think people are moving to Florida? Because,
Yeah, so much to offer here, and with obviously Florida in general has less restrictions with COVID. We're have the jobs and everybody's working here. For the most part, the economy is doing well. Obviously, the weather. Anybody that I think that was on the fence over the past years, wanted to come to Florida at some point in time, here they are.
So I was reading an interesting article about in New York, the prices are the lowest they've been since 2011. So investors are going in there to buy there. So their real estate market for the numbers is showing.
Yeah.
Isn't that interesting?
We're on the opposite side.
Yeah.
Our prices have gone up so much in quarter one of 2020, quarter one of 2021, 27% increase in, 15% increase in sales price.
Right.
So lots of, prices going up, inventory's going down, pros and cons. Our real estate market's hot.
It is hot. And the builders can't keep up with the supply and demand either.
Can't build fast enough.
Right. And the rising prices of everything due to the fuel prices, and it all trickles.
Finding wood, everybody, the wood prices. I've heard builders that were planning to build frame homes, which, Brevard, termites, everything. Concrete's preferred. They actually switched to concrete block because it's less expensive than to build frame homes now.
Really?
Yeah,
That's
so
interesting.
the second story is they usually have a second story as frame. They're building the second story as concrete block because it's less expensive.
Oh, that's really?
The lumber, which is good.
Yeah, that's good and better in a hurricane too, if we get one.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that. Thanks.
Yeah.
Garrett.
It's interesting. Yeah. And I think too now, one other thing is, as real estate agents, I think this is a really tough time for us as real estate agents for multiple reasons. Market's hot. Our buyers are losing it. It's tough to get offers through. So they're losing out on properties because there's not enough for sale. Sellers are, a lot of times beating agents down on commissions because they know they're going to get a bunch of buyers. And, you have a lot of new agents entering the market. So you have all these things that, even though the market being hot, it's challenging as a real estate agent. So the people that have been in the business for a long time, these times come and go, goods and bads, but, overall challenging time, but it's something that, we're all learning from and evolving, which is, it's never boring, to say the least.
Oh, never boring.
Yes.
It's always exciting. They're always sitting on the edge till the money gets wired
That's
at
it.
the closing.
Yes. It's
and
not done until it's done, and it's hard to find.
Yeah. So how do you handle when someone's trying to beat you out of beat you down on your commission?
I think from a standpoint with sellers, and try to put yourself in their shoes. We're going to get 15 by the experience that we offer is not, it's not just because we can put a sign in your yard and put the listing. Like for us, it's how do you handle, what's the best way to handle the multiple hours when they come in? How do you handle negotiations on inspections when they come in? Appraisal issues. These are all things that are super important right now to have a really experienced agent. And when you get, people new in the business, they're like, I'll take it, whatever you can give me. You're going to be competing against that, which makes it tough. And we have to display our experience and our value as agents, because at the end of the day, you go and list with an experienced agent that knows what they're doing. You're going to net more in the end, and you're going to, when a situation comes up on an appraisal or on an inspection, or you have 10 offers, how do you negotiate those 10 offers? What do you do? Are you overwhelmed because you've never done it before? So when you have that experience, all these things add up to more money in your seller's pocket in the end. We justify our commissions. We're worth it. We show the value to our clients. And as long as we can do that, we don't have to be as concerned about, people coming in and trying to slash commissions and take business from, that don't have that experience that we can offer the clients.
So how do you see, now we're into April 5th or 6th already, right?
Yeah.
So how do you
flies.
see the spring of this year of 2021?
I think things are going to continue how they've been. There's no, this resurrection of a bunch of listings coming on the market. It doesn't appear like, that's happening in spring. I don't know what next year's going to, what's going to take place next year. But I mean, for right now, I think this trend's going to continue. Inventory's going to stay low. Prices are going to keep creeping up. Interest rates, I think you're going to start going up a little more. They've gone up a little bit so far, and I think that's going to continue. So, but right now, I think the trend's going to continue. What about you?
I think that, and I'm hoping that maybe in the 55 plus communities, it will be a little different with loosening up listings, because a lot of people are snowbirds, and I'm finding that in Heritage Isle and Grand Isle, as people are aging, my sales for this month are people that want to go, they've been snowbirds for a long time, or they've been living in Florida, and as they age now, they want to go and be closer to their families. So I have 6 properties that have all that same scenario.
So they're moving out of Florida?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, they're moving to where the cold is, or
Crazy
just to be with their families.
Yeah.
So I'm finding a lot of that. And then just in the 55 plus places, like I've been in Heritage Isle for almost 17 years. And so people that moved in when they were 70, now they're either, some are passing away, some getting sick, some going to assisted living. So I see a few more listings. I could be wrong, but I'm watching.
Inventory coming back.
Yes. Yeah. Now, how about you with the millennials? Are you finding a lot of millennials that want to buy? Or?
I think, we have, the millennials have been a big, first-time buyer market. Rent's really expensive too, so I think there's a lot of them shifting into that. But I think still, there could be more millennials buying than they are right now, and I think that's probably, they need to take advantage of low interest rates and how much they're paying for mortgage versus rent. But, maybe they're a little afraid of commitment.
Yeah, well, now the interest rates are starting to tick up a little bit.
So I got to take advantage of it before it goes up too high.
Yeah, do you think that's making buyers even more anxious to get in?
I think they do. Any ones that are paying attention that have been on the fence, definitely need to take note of that, because, as they go up and the longer you wait, you look how much you pay in rent over time, and it's like, that alone, you pay $2,000 a month in rent, you pay $24,000 for the year. That's a lot. That's a lot of money that,
I know.
It went into someone else's mortgage.
Yeah. Now I'm finding too that I'll sit in a listing appointment and make a presentation, and people are saying, okay, now we want to move to Texas, but I don't know if we're going to be able to find anything there, so we're going to go take a ride there or fly there or whatever they're going to do. And when we come back, if we can find something there, then we'll list here. So that's a fear for people too, that they won't have a place to go.
Yes, that's definitely, something to be on, especially because a lot of markets are like we're in with low inventory in Texas for sure. And it's, there's a lot of things like as us as agents, what we can do is help people figure out solutions to that situation. So you're a seller here, because you're in the leveraged position, a lot of times you can do a lease back, you can do extended closings until you find suitable housing and where you're going. So there's things that you can do because you're in such a leveraged position here. So now, because you're getting multiple offers, well, your buyers are a lot more likely to accept a lease back or something, because we want the property, we'll be more flexible. So it goes both ways, and people have to know that those are options, which is part of, working with an experienced agent.
Right.
Knowing that those are possible solutions. You can do a lease back, you can do an extended closing until you find, a house. But definitely that's a concern for a lot of people. I know I can sell my house super fast, but I don't know where I'm going to go.
You're right.
So, yeah.
And they don't want to rent either because the rents are so high, so that makes people apprehensive about selling too.
For sure. So yes, it's good times in the market. It's a lot of good stuff going on, and there's also a lot of different things. So you got to be prepared. Got to work with some awesome agents. So yes. Well, Susan, great chat with you always. I think we had
likewise, Garrett.
a lot of golden nuggets in this episode. A lot of good information.
Yeah, so
thanks for joining us.
Oh, yes, and bring on quarter number 2, right?
Yes. Quarter number 2 coming in hot.
Yeah, get it in.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, everybody.
Now go!